Okay, let's dive right into this explainer. You know, passing the Norwegian Category B driving theory test actually requires a total transformation in how you think about the road. We aren't just talking about memorizing a bunch of signs today. Nope. We're unpacking the fundamental mindset shift you absolutely need to succeed.
Think about it. You might know every single road sign perfectly. You might have studied that handbook cover to cover. But let's ask a pretty crucial question about a trap that catches so many prospective drivers. Why do rule-abiding drivers fail the Norwegian theory test? It happens all the time. And honestly, the reason catches students completely off guard.
Well, here's the deal. On the Statens Vegvesen exam, that's the Norwegian Public Roads Administration, you'll see questions where multiple actions might technically be legally correct. But if you choose efficiency, or if you assert your legal priority over establishing the absolute largest safety cushion, you're going to fail. The examiners are looking for something way deeper than just knowing who gets to go first.
It really all boils down to this. The entire test is built on a powerful philosophy called null vision, or zero vision. This is Norway's national policy, and it literally demands that drivers prioritize risk reduction above absolutely everything else. It's the critical lens you need to look through to answer every single test question.
The ultimate goal here is literal. Zero. Zero deaths and zero serious injuries. To put that into perspective for test day, it means every single decision you make has to minimize risk, even if that means making a huge sacrifice to your own speed or efficiency on the road.
Now this actually goes directly against our standard driving intuition. Picture this. You're approaching a narrow bridge, and there's an oncoming vehicle getting close. The efficient choice? Well, that might be aggressively asserting your right to squeeze on past. But the test demands the safety-focused choice. It wants you to show patience, to slow down, or even stop to ensure a perfectly safe passing distance, regardless of who technically got there first. Cooperation wins over aggression every single time.
Section 1. Defensive driving and anticipating hazards.
So imagine looking at a situational image on your screen during the exam. A bus is stopped at a bus stop, right in front of you. What do? See, true anticipation means reacting not just to what's happening right now, but what might happen in the next 3 seconds. You've got to think fast. Could a pedestrian step out from behind that bus? Or maybe a child chasing a stray ball into the street? To create that required margin for error, the test wants to see you take a few exact proactive steps. You need to reduce your speed, move further left in your lane to give some space, and increase your readiness to brake. You aren't just waiting to react. You are actively managing your space to make sure everyone stays safe.
Moving right along to Section 2, prioritizing vulnerable road users.
Take a look at your ultimate duty here. Even if someone totally breaks the rules, like a pedestrian crossing the road illegally, you'll be heavily penalized on the test for holding your ground. Your absolute duty as a driver is to prevent the accident. Full stop. You must always give extra time and space to vulnerable groups, and please never use your horn to force a pedestrian to hurry up. And when children are involved, your risk awareness needs to go through the roof, because kids just lack the cognitive ability to judge car speed and distance accurately, making them incredibly unpredictable. So, if you hit a test question about a school zone or a residential area, the only correct answer involves maximum caution. We're talking a highly reduced speed and keeping your foot hovering right over the brake.
Section 3. The right-of-way versus the duty to prevent.
So, while rules like the right-hand rule are an absolute must-to-know, they definitely do not give you a free pass to cause a collision if another driver messes up and fails to stop. You're always operating under a mutual duty of care. That basically means you've got to yield to avoid a crash, no matter who is technically at fault.
If you ever see an answer option on your exam that says something like, "I will drive because I have the priority," run the other way. Choosing to give up your legal priority to prevent a crash is a huge hallmark of a successful candidate. It proves to the examiner that you truly grasp the bigger picture of road safety.
Section 4. Eco-driving, which is all about smooth and safe driving.
Believe it or not, environmental responsibility naturally creates a much safer road. By looking far ahead and gradually slowing down for, say, a red light or a busy roundabout, you completely avoid harsh acceleration. Plus, if you've ever driven on a slippery Norwegian winter road, you know smooth driving is literally the only way to keep out of a snowbank. It gives drivers behind you time to react, saves fuel, and keeps you totally calm and in control.
On to Section 5. Handling uncertainty and hidden hazards.
Okay, picture this situational question. You're approaching a blind curve hugging a fjord, or maybe a driveway completely hidden by a massive winter snowbank, where a moose could literally be lurking just out of view. What's the only safe answer? Well, when your line of sight is restricted, or if a huge approaching truck is hiding potential hazards, you must always operate assuming a hazard is definitely there. The examiner wants to see some serious risk awareness here. You have to prep for the worst-case scenario. That means slowing down, moving as far to the right as you can, and always leaving yourself an escape route. You always want to prioritize the actions that buy you the most time to stop safely.
Section 6. Your Safety First Toolkit and the Ultimate Framework.
By actively asking yourself these 3 specific questions for every single situational image on the test, you're basically guaranteed to choose the safest option. First, where is the greatest potential danger? Second, what can I do right this second to increase my margin of safety? And third, am I being predictable and cooperative with everyone else on the road? It really all boils down to this exact mindset. Efficiency and speed are for the track. Safety and foresight are for the Norwegian roads. When you sit down for that exam, your only priorities are safety, looking ahead, and reducing risk.
I'm going to leave you with this final thought for our explainer today. Are you driving just to pass a test, or are you driving to save lives? If you truly adopt the mindset of Nullvisionen and put safety absolutely first, you won't just ace the theory exam, you'll be actively protecting your community every single time you turn the key. Thanks so much for learning with me today.